long time, so he can pick up one win for them. And X-Lord has actually been doing very well recently. He's a young gun, but he's been getting some wins, but he still isn't at that level where he can actually win a best of 3. So they just don't have the talent which they need to be able to knock off top players like Lin, Remind, and Sky.
How does World Elite look going into the finals?
I was actually shocked by how good Sky looks. He's really practiced for this. Lin looks awesome. He did really well in the Warcraft World War, so he looks good too. I think World Elite's looking great going into the finals. As both Stroke Commando and Meet Your Makers lost in their first round game, they play each other in Losers Bracket Round 1. The loser of this game will be knocked out of the tournament in 4th place. Mayu against Lucifer almost starts off with a surround by Mayu, but he just misses it. Lucifer is still way behind as the expansion does go up, and the Archmage is level 3, while the Death Knight is only level 1. When both players decide to fight, the Archmage quickly gets sniped before the Dragonhawks can shackle all of the Gargoyles. The Death Knight saves all the Gargs by town portaling out. Mayu goes in for the kill, towering Lucifer's expansion, but Lucifer counters the Dragonhawks with silence. When the Destroyers come out, Lucifer easily wins the battle and saves the expansion. Lucifer carries his advantage to the final battle, where he gives up on the air battle but dominates the ground battle as he wins Game 1. Game 2 on Echo Isles is also on a human-favored map. Mayu's expansion comes very late, but he still managed to get it up, even with Lucifer's second hero harassing him. After about 10 minutes of stalling, Mayu brings 6 steam tanks into Lucifer's expansion. Just as in the first game, Mayu dominates the air battle while Lucifer wins the ground battle and, more importantly, the hero battles. Mayu continues the harassment, this time with flying machines, as he continues to stop the expansion. Mayu finally starts to win the ground battle as he adds knights to his army. Lucifer nearly won it with better heroes, but in the end the economy difference was too great to overcome. The last game is finally on an undead-friendly map as it's played on Twisted Meadows. The harassment starts off very slow, allowing Mayu to get level 3 and creep his expo. Then the ghouls show up, and the peasants start to fall. Mayu wins the battle despite the peasants he loses because he kills the Death Knight. In a somewhat stupid move, Mayu copies the strategy from the previous game, going for steam tanks. While he does take down the newly born expansion, he gets countered by the time he reaches Lucifer's main base. Mayu doesn't even upgrade his steam tanks to attack air, instead he relies on flying machines and towers. While he does tower up another expansion, he lost 2 heroes in the process, giving Lucifer 2 level 4 heroes. Mayu almost gets a huge victory by taking out all of Lucifer's destroyers, but instead his Archmage is forced to town portal out. Lucifer takes down the expansion seconds before Mayu can town portal back in. With his main mine out, Mayu is down to only 1 mine, as is Lucifer. Again, Mayu wins the air battle but continues to lose the ground battle and his heroes. Without any way to win the ground battle, Mayu concedes the game, giving Meet Your Makers an early 1-0 lead.
Already down 1-0, SK looks to keep the clan war close with the young star X-Lord against Susiria. Early game 1 remains even as X-Lord loses a few ghouls and takes out an acolyte. Susiria beats X-Lord to level 3. X-Lord's Lich barely survives by using a healing potion. X-Lord has a quick comeback, taking down Susiria's Lich as well as a couple of gargoyles. X-Lord extends his lead further with another hero kill, which pushes him over to level 5. It only takes 1 level 3 Nova to win the game for X-Lord. Game 2 on Terranistan starts with X-Lord putting a lot of pressure on Susiria as he takes down a crypt and 2 ghouls. Susiria buys a Sapphire and puts it to good use, taking out 2 Ziggurats, but in the process he loses most of his gargoyles. Both players creep to level 5 and they mash gargoyles. In the next battle, X-Lord comes out on top, and Susiria, instead of continuing the gargoyle fight, switches to Tri-Hero Fiends. After both players switch to Fiends, a battle ensues with both players around 50 food. Susiria gets 2 hero kills and uses his destroyers to win and force another game. X-Lord starts the game off right with a hero kill. He barely managed to save his own hero at the same time. He gets an even larger advantage by getting level 3 while Susiria resurrected his Lich. X-Lord gets a 2-level lead by creepjacking Susiria and then finishes off his creeps. Somehow, X-Lord gets yet another creepjack. He slaughters Susiria's army as well as gaining level 5. As in game 2, Susiria switches over to Fiends and hires a second hero. As Susiria turtles up, X-Lord gets his second and third heroes, both to the crucial level 3. After the Lich falls, Susiria leaves, giving X-Lord the victory and tying up the clan war.
Insomnia and Hot must have seen 4 Kings Tower Rush MYM, as they copied that strategy exactly in Game 1. Meteor Makers put up significantly more resistance than they did against 4 Kings, but again Moon's base fell. Lucifer attempted to take out Hot's base, but Insomnia's militia helped stop the attack. With SK outmining MYM 3-1, there wasn't much they could do. Lucifer successfully forces Insomnia to Town Portal and looks to be in control of Hot's base until Insomnia Town Portal's back with militia. In the end, Lucifer just could not beat 2 players without Moon. As SK won Game 1, their hopes of finishing last were very high. They only needed to win 1 of the next 2 games. For Game 2 on Lost Temple, Lucifer switched to Orc. Insomnia decides to expand in the natural position rather than Moon's base, but harassment from 2 heroes slows him down. MYM gets a huge victory. Insomnia is still making footmen while Hot is also at Tier 1. MYM dominates the battle with 3 hero kills and much higher hero levels. By the final battle, MYM has considerably stronger heroes and Tier 3 units against SK's Tier 2 units. Lucifer's choice to switch to Orc appears to be working. Meteor Makers has a second clan war come down to the final game of the 2v2. This time, they're determined not to lose. The game starts out clean without a tower push or fast expansion, just some simple harassment. All 4 players tech, leading to a very uneventful early game. Once the second heroes come out, Meteor Makers show their strength, getting 2 hero kills very quickly. Insomnia techs all the way to Knights and Mortar teams, but it's just a little slow. His 2 Mortar teams do well, but it's just not enough to win the battle. SK gets a little hope as they force a town portal, but Meteor Makers comes right back to finish them off. Without any frontline units, SK starts to lose its ranged units very quickly. Meteor Makers wins, while SK gets 4th place at the WC3. SK lost to MYM 3-2. Are you shocked?
Not at all. What I'm shocked about is that X-Lord and Hot picked up 2 wins. I mean, that's pretty good. Hot, sort of expected to win against Eve. X-Lord, however, he's a new guy. That's awesome, beating Susiria. And if this hadn't been the finals, if this had just been season play, then that would have been great, getting 2 points against MYM.
X-Lord could be the future of SK. Now, do you think if SK did have Deadman, that they would have been able to win this match?
Well, assuming they still would have gotten the wins with Hot and X-Lord, and that is sketchy, then Deadman probably would have replaced Mayo, and then winning against Lucifer, there's a chance. The 2v2 team for Shroud Commando is also fairly fluid, and Deadman may have been playing on that, which could have helped them get another win.
Let's start off the top plays. We're upping it to 6 this week instead of 5, and top play number 6 happens with Mayo against Lucifer.
You see the bolt going, and invincibility on. That's some fast clicking. Top play number 5. Here's a really fast round on the Demon Hunter, using the trees or lampposts as part of the side.
And then, after he starts killing some archers, Eve is forced to waste a town portal out of that awesome surround. And we go on to top play number 4 with Sky against Fire.
Sky's running away with his Archmage, and they're both low health, but turns around to try to get the kill.
That takes some serious balls there. He's 1 hit from losing his hero.
Here's Lynn building a tower against the creeps, taking the path of least resistance. Seed, is this Imba?
Yeah, it's the name of our show. This is definitely imbalanced. It's a free hero level there and an awesome item. He gets a rock golem with a ton of stun. And on to top play number 2, we stay with the same game as the Archmage is running from the Blade Master.
And a farm is built. Blade Master can't go through there. Archmage is saved. Now on to top play number 1, we have 4 red health bears in that Zeppelin. Zeppelin's going away.
Yeah, that's 16 food right there. He loses everything. Now, against some other player, Creo might be able to come back, but losing that much against Moon, you have absolutely no chance. I don't care who you are. Game over. GG. You lose. As this episode comes to a close, we leave the tournament with the next game to be played as the winner bracket finals. World Elite will face off against 4 Kings. The winner of that match is guaranteed at least 2nd place. The loser of that match will drop down to the losers bracket to face off against Meteor Makers. Both of those 2 games will be shown off in our next episode.
And if you thought there was some drama with Deadman, wait until next episode when Todd goes complaining again. So see it all in the next episode, episode 16, on imbalancedvideo.com.